parallel lines. I'm sure you know what parallel lines are. Parallel lines. For this specific construction, they give you one line, and then they give you a point above the line, which they'll call X. And then you're supposed to draw a line parallel to M that goes through point X, like this. This is the construction with the most steps and the most room for error. Maybe now that I'm using one of these compasses, I won't have as much error. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. First step, though, is to make a point on this line. It doesn't matter where that point is. Just point A. Then connect point X to point A, and you're going to draw a line longer than what's there. So my line's going up here because part of my construction is actually going to go on that part of the line. Next step. Next step is to put your compass on A. We're going to draw an arc that goes through both of those rays, and then taking the same measurement, we're going to go up to X and make the same arc up here. So I'm going to A. I'm adjusting this so I can make an arc that goes through both of those rays. And then taking that same measurement, I'm going to go up to X and make the same mark. And I'm just going to exaggerate that arc because I need it to like cross other stuff. And if it's longer, then I know it'll cross. We'll call this they want to do Q. Okay, Q and B is what they're calling it.
By reading the instructions.
It was really, yeah, this one's hard. Oh, yes.
Do you make the second mark at X? Like you put your pointy thing on X?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I'm going to turn this thing upside down. So turn your paper upside down. I'm going to measure the distance between Q and B and adjust my compass to that distance. So I just measured Q to B. And then I'm going to make a mark at B, like this. And then taking that distance, I'm going to go up to this intersection. So putting it up here and making a mark here. And then if I did this ever so perfectly, I should be able to connect this intersection to this point to get a parallel line to line M. Not too bad. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. So this line should be parallel to this one. If yours isn't even close to parallel, I know your pain. Yes, Sam. Or, why did I call you? Oh my gosh, Joe. Sorry.
Can you do the Q to B part again?
The Q to B? Okay, so I turn this thing upside down. I measured Q to B with the compass and like adjusted it to that measurement. I made that mark. And then I took that same measurement, put it here, and made that mark there.
Where do you put the, oh, at the very top, that little.
Yeah, this one right here. And you make the mark there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And then the reason why this works is because if this angle, and this is how it'll be tested if you see this, it'll say, okay, here's a construction of parallel lines. Why does this construction work? Because this angle is the same as this angle, so therefore these two lines are parallel. So that's why it works. Except if your compass is just the slightest bit off, it won't be, the lines won't be parallel. Okay, now we're going to continue this. I'm going to cut out some of the steps. I'm not going to label everything and all that. Honestly, as much as I could label point A on here, what makes it more precise is if you just use the intersection of the line. So I'm not drawing a point because that'll actually cause my compass to be off ever so slightly. So I'm just drawing a long line that goes through point X and the line. Okay. Then, from this intersection, I'm going to draw an arc that goes through both lines. And then using the same measure, drawing it here. So I put this here, I drew an arc, and then I took the same measure and drew an arc here. Then, next step, flip my paper upside down, measuring the distance here, and then taking that, put it on this intersection and marking it. This one's off. I can already tell.
Mine's wrong.
Yeah, mine's off. Mine like goes up that way. No.
Actually, I don't know.
I mean, you can kind of like, you could.
Good enough.
Like I said, if yours is a little bit off, I understand because mine is almost always off. Okay. Let me try this again.
Does this look right? This looks better than
Yours is pretty good.
parallel.
Okay.
This is sweet.
Trying this again.
Do you have to be like good at this?
No, I've been doing this for 5 years and I still suck at it. Okay, this one came out better. Like I said, this one's the hardest one. Maybe it's because it's the most obvious that it's just like a little bit off. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably can't tell. It's like an exact angle.
Okay. I'm gonna start my number 2.
I've already started.
Okay. I know some of you might be perfectionists. Just don't be perfectionists for this construction. Okay. Making my arc.
I could actually be convinced that this line was parallel.
That's good. Now measuring. Okay, mine are getting better.
Do we have to do all of these?
Yeah, you do. Because we're trying to get smart.
I'm never gonna get better at it.
You might. Okay, so we have 4 more over here. So you can work at your own pace. You can work ahead of me if you want. Ooh, this one's off.
Mine's like completely.
Just do what you gotta do. Just pretend. Oh gosh.
My number
That's not even close. Okay.
I know, neither is mine.
Yes.
It's basically a
What's that?
parallel. Or number 2, where do you put the line?
Wherever. Just like this. So your arc will actually go in the other direction, but it doesn't matter. You can do it. Okay. Number 3 is like upside down. Try this one. I keep trying different compasses thinking it's going to solve my issue, and I don't think it's a compass issue, I think it's a human
Your errors.
issue.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't mind missing this. If you can. Do you have the rest of the page filled in?
Close.
Okay.
Will you take points off our notes if they're like noticeable?
Yes, I'm going to look at every little detail. I'm just kidding. No. No, if mine aren't perfect, yours don't have to be perfect. But it's very obvious, like, if you didn't try or you just tried freehanding it, so don't freehand it. Just actually try. Like I said, if it's tested, you're not actually going to have to like draw out the construction. You might have to identify the different step or what the next step is. So by doing the steps, you'll be able to do that. And then 5 and 6 is just review of angle bisector and segment bisector. All right? Long day? Did you have testing today? No?
Testing is so annoying. Literally
Okay.
everyone was done like 40 minutes before the time was up, but they still wouldn't want us to.
Okay, number 5, I'm just doing an arc here. I'm doing an angle bisector, so starting with the arc, then putting the compass on each of these and making the mark above. And then connecting the vertex to that intersection gives me the angle bisector. Number 6 is segment bisector. So for that,
Oh, it's sick. Stupid thing.
and that's it. So this bisects the segment and it's perpendicular.
Wait, having math as the last class.
At least it's kind of chill. It's different. This is kind of chill. It's just different. I like teaching this because it's just not the same old, same old.
7 thirds of the math should be legal.
At least it's an advanced class.